Anger is not something that you have to get rid of. It can be your superpower. If you think that anger is toxic, abusive, unpleasant, not spiritual, not feminine, then stay with me because I'm going to break these myths in today's video. My name is Aiste. I am a mentor for conscious and ambitious women who desire to soften without losing their power, get rid of anxiety and stress so they can fully stand in their power and create a life that feels as good as it looks. So let's dive into today's topic. Sacred rage or iconic anger, it's one of feminine superpowers. Of course, it's wrapped in lots of propaganda, but here we are today to break all of these myths. In Tantric path, the path that I belong to, nothing is 100% pure or toxic. Nothing is 100% poison or elixir. Same with anger. Anger can be used in a very bad way and cause lots of harm, but also anger can help you to reset your nervous system, to get rid of stress and really stand in your power. I know that you're curious, so stay here. I'm going to bring you into the rabbit hole of feminine mysteries so you can really rise. Anger belongs to red passion energy, the same as eros, erotica, our sexuality. And all red passion energies can be very heavy and dense and cause lots of harm, but it can, as I mentioned, help us to reach very fast our, like really go into quantum jumps of in our evolution. So erotica, sexual energy, can, of course, it can create rape culture, it can create lots of traumas, lots of heavy memories, right? The same anger, if it's thrown away, if it's expressed in a form of tantrum, it can cause lots of trauma for you and for people around you. So all of these things that we are exploring here, you have to remember that this is your responsibility, this is your healing, and you have to express anger or work with your sexuality and other red passion energy in the safe space with yourself, in a safe container, without throwing it to anybody else, okay? When we embarking on a journey of sexual awakening, when we starting to work with our sacred sexuality, and when we eventually becoming sexually liberated woman, we're not opening our legs and we, having sex with everybody who moves, right? The same with anger. When we're starting to work with somatic practices, with nervous system regulation or trauma healing tools connected to anger, it doesn't mean that now anger is unleashed and we're going to scream and shout to everybody and just throw our anger to everybody. No. You do your practice in the safe space, you deal with this emotion and you standing in your power, right? You're becoming sexually empowered and you're becoming also empowered because you know how to alchemize your anger and get the best out of it, right? So let's understand this, that when you will embark in the journey working with your anger, you're not gonna throw it to anybody else, but you're going to stand in your power because you're gonna do these practices by yourself or in a container of other women who gather to do the same as you. When I work with women in retreats or one-on-one, and I ask them to explain in a couple of words what they felt, what they sensed when they work with anger, very often they say that it's something connected to ferocity and bliss. So something very intense, like they feel like a lioness, right, protecting their babies, and they have lots of like powerful energy running through their veins, but at the same time it's a very blissful experience. It's a very pleasurable experience. So I can give you a micro practice, microsomatic practice that can help you to tap into the energy of anger. So it's very easy. You're sitting down comfortably, your feet on the floor, your hip distance apart, so your feet is really planted into the earth. Then you can rub your hands, activate Reiki energy in between your palms, and then you're simply placing your palms on your knees, And whenever you're ready, you can close your eyes, take a couple of conscious breaths in and out. I like to inhale through my nose, exhale through my mouth. And then when you will be ready, you can start pushing your hands towards the knees. So you're really using lots of pressure. You can tap into your anger, into you can really feel it, let it arise. You can even create those angry eyes. And you're pushing, keeping spine straight, breathing. Push, more pressure, more intensity. Let the anger to arise. Okay, now release your hands. Just simply sense what's happening in your body. And we're gonna repeat one more time. Tap into the energy of anger. Let it be felt. Think about something that you are not happy about. Create those angry eyes and start pushing your hands towards the knees. Just feel it, feel it, push it, let it be felt, let it be sensed. Wonderful. Sometimes we feel that it's not easy to tap into the energy of anger because we're simply not angry at this moment, and we're gonna talk about that. But in case you started feeling something stirring in your body, that's beautiful. Sometimes it takes some time, but by doing this micro somatic practice, you eventually gonna get there into lots of feeling. When personally I do this kind of practice, I start to feel something happening in my spine. Very often I feel my Kundalini energy is activated, I feel heat in my body, and I also feel some very pleasurable feeling happening in my yoni, in my genitals. So it's a very beautiful practice for me and my students, and I really hope that you're gonna go into your feeling body too and start enjoying the energy of anger as much as I do. Look, now it is very also important to decouple anger and violence, because very often we think that anger and violence, they are equal, they are the same thing. Anger is anger, violence is violence, abuse is abuse. It's completely different energies, it's completely different thing. The same as sexuality is sexuality, sex is sex, and rape is rape. It's not the same, right? So if you really want to dive into the art of sacred rage, your iconic rage, you need to understand in your mind, in your mindset, that abuse and anger is two completely different energies. Now, if you are aware of the term toxic masculinity, you might sense that actually this term, by the way, wasn't created by the feminists, by the women's movement. It was created by other men, and toxic masculinity term is created in order to explain what is not pure masculine energy, what is the masculine energy that you use in a wrong way. So toxic masculinity is when men completely reject their feminine qualities, such as love, compassion, understanding, nurturing, right? And they fully dive into their masculine qualities, and they're using masculine qualities in a way that gives them lots of authority, lots of only authority, lots of like pride and confidence, but it's really nothing about others, because taking care of others, it's a very feminine quality, right? So man becomes toxic when he gets rid of the feminine qualities. Now woman becomes toxic when she suppresses her anger, when she suppresses her beautiful masculine qualities, such as boundary setting, right? If she rejects masculine qualities, if she rejects her anger, the topic of the day, she becomes toxic. What happens to her? She becomes the yes woman. She becomes little Bambi. She becomes a good girl, always saying yes, always pleasing, always sweet and kind, never rocking the boat. She's really embodiment of the of the light feminine, and she's gonna be destroyed by the world, by the people, because she's not gonna have her spine, she's not gonna have her desires, she's not gonna chase her dreams. She eventually gonna forget who she is, because she's gonna just live in this constant people-pleasing world, and she's gonna completely give herself away, rape herself, by just not pouring to her own cup. So she's gonna lose who she is. And then, of course, depression will come, anxiety will come from constant doing and serving, thinking about others. My little one is waking up. So we don't want that. We need to unleash the little Bambi within us. We need to unleash the little girl within us to become embodied. And the best way to do that is getting rid of your anger. Okay, can you take her so I can continue? Yeah. So, my loves, let's continue. So this is what the toxic feminine is, okay? Now, I would like to also talk a little bit about the trauma. So very often we became those good girls that never rocking the boat and never raising their voice and never talking about their own needs and desires and dreams and not setting the boundaries. We became this woman in the childhood because we were taught, we are conditioned to be sweet, sugar and spice and everything nice and be in your own place, right? And if you acting in different way than you are, bad girl, then you need to be punished. And this is who we grow up, good girls, right? Of course, religion caused lots of harm. Also our school, the system that we grew up, so many things created woman that we are. And my work is really not about you becoming who you are not, but releasing the conditioning, releasing the wrong mindset, releasing limiting beliefs, so you can become the truest, the grandest version of you, the woman that you was born to be before the world told you who you have to be. So when we're working with the trauma, trauma can be very big, so that's big T kind of trauma, all of the heavy things that happen in our lives, but it also can be the small t. This is the term that we use in trauma healing world. And small t can be this constant mantras that were repeated by our grandmothers, by our parents, how you need to, look and behave, how good girl you need to be, and all of these things. So when we're stepping into our power, we start the trauma healing work, and there is something called the trauma cycle. So first, you're being told that, or maybe you went into big T traumatic situation when you had to shut down, when you had to forget your voice, shut your voice, close your body, become numb in order to protect yourself, in order to survive. Right, so from this event you maybe went into a fight or flight. You became like really very doing woman, serving, giving, right, like really in your young kind of energy. Maybe later in your journey you went into your freeze response, where your body become numb, you lost your libido, you lost your sexuality, you lost your desires, you don't know what happiness is, you constantly living in the fog, and just nothing feels amazing, neither money, neither career, something is missing, something is lacking, you need like big trips, crazy purchases in order to feel something in your body, right? So you went into the numbness, right? So it can be different responses to trauma that you eventually marinating in. So when you're working with this trauma cycle, we need to go backwards, right? So of course we're staying with the numbness, we're staying with this numb body that doesn't feel much. We work with the anger, and of course you might not feel much. You might say that, I feel sadness, or I don't feel nothing, but I definitely cannot access anger. And it is exactly where I've been, especially in my yogic years. Yogis, we are enlightened beings, and we are never angry. Sad, yes, we can, have a tear or two, but angry, no, 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 it's so bad, it's so not yogic, right? Later, when I started studying feminine with the wrong mentors, they also telling us that you need to manage your anger. Be polite, be presentable, be all these old money and aesthetics, right? Bullshit. This is not what the feminine is. And I also found it that being 10 years in this yogic community, living the yogic life, it doesn't bring me any closer to enlightenment, any closer to happiness. It simply completely took me out from matter, from my body, from my sexuality, from my empowerment, because I was, peaceful, chill, serene yogi, but I was dead inside. I could meditate for hours and hours and do the headstands and do the other crazy things with my body. So it looked that I live a super serene and calm and beautiful life, but my sexuality was destroyed. I couldn't feel almost anything because I was always in the highest chakras. I was always observing my body in the practices. I would never feel my lower chakras, my sex, my rage, also my financial things, my connection to money, to wealth was completely destroyed because it also comes from the first chakra. Because in yoga and in other spiritual practices, it's really all about being up here, enlightenment, meditation, observing but not really experiencing the body. And this is what the somatic movement teaches us, to be in the body, to feel the emotions, and instead of letting these heavier, denser emotions to destroy us, we alchemizing them, and we be making them our superpowers, right? So sexuality, sacred rage, grief, or your connection with money, it's some of them, right? Because I was born as a woman on the earth, I truly feel that we are here to experience both worlds: matter, body, material things, but also the spirit, also the mystery, right? That is connected to our womanhood. So okay, when we're talking about the trauma response and healing, of course, at the beginning you're gonna feel nothing, or you're gonna feel sadness. So there, it's like a journey back, journey back to the moment that this trauma happened to you, to the moment that you shut your body, to the moment that you shut your throat, you started to speak sweet, or to the moment that you shut your sexuality, if we work with the sexual energy, or you shut your connection with the money, with the finances, or with the grief, right? So we're journeying all the way back through the movement until that moment when this event happened. And you're coming back home. This is the moment that you're coming back home, you're coming back in your power, and you're choosing to take different action. Instead of going into fight or flight, instead of going into the freeze, into the numbness, you choose a different way to deal with the situation. So very often we do shaking. So it's a practice that we go through, but at the end we're doing shaking, and this is what we have to do when the traumatic event happening. Instead of shutting this memory in our cells, in our bones, in our body, we're getting rid of it. Right? This is what animals do. They know how to get rid of trauma. When one animal attacks another animal, they're not just coming into the freeze or fight or flight, right? They shaking their body, they're getting rid of the memory, and then they just go to eat their grass and be happy straight away. So in trauma healing, this is exactly what we do. We're going back in time from numbness to empowered place back home, where we take different action how to deal with the situation, right? Working with your anger can also be a very big thing for your nervous system regulation. And if you study with me, if you watch my videos, if you're coming to my master classes, my free trainings, my Embody Her program, you will know that nervous system, it's a gate to bigger money, it's a gate to more empowered sexuality, is a gateway to more aliveness. You need to have $1 million nervous system that can hold dream money, that can hold you being able to speak on the stage, that can hold you being able to write this book, birth this book into existence, create not just a product but a movement. You need to have a nervous system that matches your dreams, your goals, your desires. Now, working with your anger, like somatic tools that can help you to release the anger, it's a powerful medicine to expand and strengthen, regulate your nervous system. So I have so many tools in my pocket that can help you to get there. And I share all of these tools in Embody Her, my 6-month feminine embodiment program that is designed for you to feel alive and to have the life that feels as good as it looks. I share in the description box below this video all of the links how you can enter into my world, into my free taster programs, and into my signature program Embody Her. And also you can work with me one-on-one if you are serious in your becoming, if you really desire to stand in your power, to feel the life, to have everything, to have matter, good finances, but also go deep into the spiritual realm, into the womanhood, into the all of these mysteries that it's connected to womanhood. So if you are thirsty for that, Embody Her or one-on-one container is a place for you to be. So 2 red passion energies, eros and anger, 2 energies that can harm you, that can put you in a position of a victim, but the same 2 energies can help you to do this quantum jump in your becoming, in your embodiment, in your evolution as a woman, if you choose to, and if you're going to use the right tools to alchemize something that caused lots of harm, lots of pain for you and for your beloved, for your kids perhaps, for other family members. If you use the right tools, you can alchemize it and create the most beautiful elixir that you can savor, that you can enjoy, and something that's gonna bring so much feeling, so much life into your body and into your hero story, into your journey, into your sex life, into your relationship, into your connection with your family, with your little humans, with your dogs and cats as well, because very often we are throwing our anger to them and we don't want to throw our anger. We don't want to be called a crazy woman, right? We want to learn how to deal with our anger in the most beautiful way, how to use our anger as a nectar, as elixir that fuels our body and gives energy for our mission, for our vision, for our dream, for our movement. Because, my love, every iconic woman, they once were a very angry woman. A very angry woman because they were pissed off that something doesn't work in society. Perhaps they were pissed off because women, they are not treated well, kids not treated well, countries not treated well. Maybe women, they are underpaid, they're not seeing them standing in their power. So they created movements, they wrote books, they created podcasts, they went on a hero journey, and they birthed something beautiful out of their own pain, out of their own grief and rage. They transformed, they birthed some precious pearl out of it. And I want you to be that woman that uses her story of anger, story of blocked sexuality into an empowerment story, into a story that will help also other women to stand in their power and use these 2 powerful red passion energies into something phenomenal. So if you feel, my love, there's a couple signs that can tell you if you're suppressing your anger. So if you feel dull in your life, if you feel not alive, if you feel that everything seems good in your life but you're still not feeling juicy and activated, you don't feel like you're living the life, you feel like bypassing, then you might suppress your anger. If you feel that if you have autoimmune disorder and like kind of illness that nobody can tell what is actually all about, crazy rash or just crazy symptoms that you did all of the tests but nobody can tell what it is and how you can heal it, anger might be the thing. If you're suppressing your anger and you're releasing it in a somatic way, it can help your crazy mystery disorder to go away. If you have suppressed sexuality, also working with your anger can help you to unleash that, because on the other side of rage is your sexuality. It's like one coin with the two sides. Just think about Latin Americans, they screaming and shouting. They using anger not in a pure way, but the other minute after smashing this place, they're having the hot sex ever, right? Because it's two energies that the two red passion energies. By working with one, you can unleash another one as well. So it's something really, really empowering. Also, if you feel lack of creative energy, anger can help you to become clear with these things and unleash your creativity. If you feel that you don't know what is your mission in life, what is your purpose in life, if you don't know what is your brand, your movement, your business is really all about, or if you desire to go deeper into your mission, again, connecting with your anger in a pure, divine way can help you to strengthen your vision and mission, and really create a movement that you was born to create, not just tapping into the waters, but really having a full dive into this vast waters of empowerment and liberation, and also financial wealth. So there are many other symptoms, but I think it's enough for now. So look, my love, I really, really want you to see standing in your power. I don't want you to suppress your anger. I don't want you to see anger as something toxic, as something embarrassing, as something that you have to get rid of, as something that is so not feminine and so not spiritual. That it is one of the most precious feminine superpowers, and we've been suppressing the superpower for hundreds of years. And I want to see you standing in your power, unleashing your anger in the most beautiful way, and really finding your voice, finding your sexuality, finding your place in the world, and becoming this iconic woman that you was born to be. Not a good girl that always pleasing and saying yes without any boundaries, and really giving yourself away to your clients, to your family, to your community, without really being in your power yourself. I want you to become a woman, the highest version of yourself. And in order to do that, you need to have the right tools to alchemize your anger into your superpower. If you're curious, if you want to know more how you can do that, check out the description box. You can book one-on-one discovery call with me. We can work together for 3 months, or you can sign up for Embody, her program, where we're diving deeper not only into anger, but also other feminine superpowers, such as grief, creativity, sensuality, sexuality, you name it. Also feminine archetypes, and we're gonna work with mother, father wound, inner child healing, and many other things that can help you to become a woman that you was born to be. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Ocean of love.